Hi guys, welcome back to Real English. My name's Liam and today we've got a vocabulary video about health. Doctor, doctor. Alright, so all these words are good if you have some kind of health problem and you've got to go see the doctor. Hopefully you'll never need them. Alright, so let's have a little look here. We have to come down with something. Ooh, sounds nasty, and it is. To wear a bandage or a plaster, to be allergic to something, a wound, a fractured arm, and a painkiller. Alright, so let's have a look at the first one here. It's actually a phrasal verb. To come down with something. So if you're coming down with something, you feel like you're getting sick. So maybe you wake up in the morning and you're feeling like you've got a temperature, or your throat is a little bit sore, and you say, oh, I'm coming down with something. So you can see this poor little pooch here, he's not feeling so well, he's coming down with something. And same thing with this little guy. Alright, so it just means you feel like you're getting sick, pretty much. I don't feel well, I think I'm coming down with the flu. A plaster. Alright, so now we covered this in part 1 and part 2, I think. So a plaster can be, the hard stuff. If you break your arm, they put this hard coating on. This is called a plaster, but also the plaster is different. It means like elastoplast. Alright, so if you have a little scratch or a cut, you stick a plaster over it, like this. Alright, a thing you put on a cut is also a plaster. And I've also said here there's a bandage. Okay, a bandage is when you're wrapping your arm in something like a mummy. They wrap the mummy in bandages. Alright, so if you cut your finger, you put a plaster on it. To be allergic to, okay, so this is a problem that a lot of us face. In fact, most of us are allergic to something, whether it be to a bee sting, whether it be to peanuts or seafood. Alright, sometimes you can have a really severe allergy to something, and sometimes it's just a mild allergy. So you can see this poor person, obviously when they eat a food, they come up in a red patch or a red rash. So if you're allergic to something, your body can't deal with it. It doesn't like it. You're missing an enzyme or something like this. Alright, and allergies can actually be life-threatening for some people. Alright, especially I think to peanuts, you can go into anaphylactic shock or something crazy. So when your body reacts badly to something, I can't eat seafood, I'm allergic to it. It brings me out in a rash. A wound, alright, so a wound, this is a very serious cut, okay, and the difference between a cut and a wound is very deep, okay, and it usually bleeds a lot, which means it needs medical attention and fast. Alright, so a good example of this, as you can see, is one soldier is carrying his wounded compatriot. Alright, so the other guy can't walk, obviously he's been shot or something horrible, and he is wounded, and this other soldier is carrying him to the medic. Alright, so wounded, like again, if someone stuck a knife into you, this would be a wound, not a cut, because it's deep and it will need stitches to close it. Yeah, so a deep cut that needs medical treatment and stitches, that's the lines there. Alright, so a wounded man was rushed to hospital. A fracture. Okay, so sometimes when maybe you fall down the stairs or fall over, you'll go to the doctor, because maybe your arm hurts, and he'll say, the good news is it's not broken, it is, however, fractured. So a fracture means, maybe you can see it here in the picture, I'm not sure whether some of these bones are actually broken, but what I'm trying to say is there's a crack in your bone. It's not kind of like sticking out like this kind of thing, it's just cracked. And usually that means you don't need a plaster, all you need is a bandage for a couple of weeks and it'll heal. Alright, so it's still serious, it's still sore. Alright, so here you've seen the old way of doing it. They put a piece of wood, wrapped it up, and this was called a splint. Alright, Still a good idea if you've got no access to medical treatment. This is what you do. Broken leg or fractured arm, things like that, you put them in a splint. It provides support. Alright, so a cracked bone. The doctor informed me that my arm isn't broken, but it is fractured. A painkiller. Now, this is probably one of the most common forms of medical treatment that we all use. If we wake up in the morning and we've got a headache, or we're not feeling well, or we're in some kind of discomfort, we will take a painkiller. It kills the pain. Alright, so you can see here they may look like this, or like this. Sometimes you just take the tablet, sometimes you dissolve it in water, and then drink it. But it makes you feel better. Yeah? A form of medicine that relieves pain. I have a blinding headache. A blinding headache, good expression is, it means that it's so bad that you can hardly see. A migraine is another word. So a blinding headache, good expression for you. I need to take a painkiller. Yeah? Okay, so we've got our little quiz here. Here come some sentences for you. Have a look and try and put the words that you've learned today back into these sentences, alright? So you want to press pause because the answers are coming up round about now. Alright? So, thank you very, very much for watching. I hope it's been useful. Bye.